guys, it's Golden with Xposure magazine, and I have with me today Kelsey Maynor, who is a motivational speaker, life influencer, positive, all-around positive guy, family guy, and I wanted to have him on as my first guest to talk to him today about turning your fear into fuel, because he's the perfect person to be the first guest for this podcast. So, with that being said, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
All right, good afternoon, guys. Afternoon, morning, whatever time it is when you see this. My name is Kelsey Maynor. And like she said, I tend to be a motivational speaker. I do that by trade, but also am a hospitality influencer. They call it lifestyle, but I just like hospitality. So whatever that is, it's hotels, restaurants, clubs, lounges. I don't know, I even put the personal stuff in like barbershops, hair salons, nail salons, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel good. I feel good at a spa, at a hotel sometimes, and that's what I talk about. So I take people on that journey with me and encourage them. I don't sell dreams, I sell lifestyle.
Okay. And so let's talk about it. So you're also a burgeoning author. You forgot to admit that. And so let's talk about your journey to right now. Take me back to your college days. Let's start at college.
Start in college.
Yeah, let's start with college.
Okay.
I'm a college dropout, so, and I'm proud. But with you, you had the full college experience, and you are a member of a fraternity. So talk about some of the situations where you had to turn your fear into fuel during your college years.
You know, college was like how do you describe that? It was fun.
Okay.
Like, I think it was fun because it was so much unknown. You'd be like, just go with it. Like, you're so young and reckless, you know what I mean? So I did graduate from college. I did the full experience. When I say full, I mean 6+ years. Let me say 7, maybe 6.5. You can make your face you want to.
It's a long time.
But yeah, 6.5 years. It's fine. I had a lot of stuff going on. You know, like I said, I was in a fraternity, which I was the president of for 2 years straight. I was also in charge of Reciproc International, it's a community service-based organization associated with the Kiwanis Club. I was part of the Hunchback Men of Atlanta's collegiate organization, where I started on Georgia State's campus. And it was a lot of stuff I was doing, you know, and built my character up. Didn't necessarily build my grades up, but it built my character up very much so. And you know, if you want to talk about fear in college, I mean, you're scared that you'll mess up. But you're like, who cares? Like, I'm in college. You got that crutch saying, I'm in college. I'm trying to figure it out. So I had a blast in college. I mean, I put on programs I've never done before. I'm talking to people I've never spoken to before. I went to Africa twice in college, just because I was like, just curious, and I just asked questions. So, yeah, fear. No fear in college.
Okay. I know you as the person that always says yes. Like, okay, like anytime there's an opportunity for you to do something, you're just grabbing at the opportunity. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I can do this. Yeah, I'm there. What time? What day? This. So I know you to be that type of person. Have you always been that type of person? Was that something you had to develop?
No, I've always been that person. This got me into a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, yeah. I just told somebody a second ago, 3 o'clock, yeah, I can do it at 3 o'clock. I had no clue I can do it at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna make it happen though. You know, and that's that fearlessness, you know. In college, we're gonna talk about college, it backfired many times. You know, imagine this being your plate, right? Half of this is school. It should be 75% should be school, but I did half was school. And everything else, the fraternity, the community service, the 100 Men of Atlanta, you know, partying, women, eating. Oh, and exercising, like a little slip for exercise. Yeah, plate's full. And somebody go, hey, can you do such and such? Yeah, sure. No clue, full. Something getting knocked off. And it backfires. But now I'm starting to, you know, I use a calendar sometimes, use my phone, definitely. And so I've always been that yes person. It's funny, I brag to my friends. I don't brag to my friends. I give them accolades because they can say no to things. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Until I can say no, everything's yes. I need it. I'm hungry.
Was there a period between college and transitioning to your professional full-time life after college where you had some challenges you had to overcome?
Yo, honestly, I put up this real positive, like, you know, always excited vibe. I usually am. But there's a lot of fear. Like, a lot of this excitement comes from, like, if I'm not pumped up for this, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people that are scared to use their voice. I don't know why. Like, I'm so proud that she went over there and said, hey, can you turn your TV off so we can not have the glare on the TV?
Shout out to CJ.
CJ, well, I'm proud of you for that, because most people are like, I don't want to be disruptive. I don't know how they're going to receive me. And you get all this thinking, all this, I don't know, and you will never know. You know? So I think it really clicked in one day. I'm like, listen, if I don't ask, if I don't go for it, I would never know. You know, I did this speech for it. It's weird. Usually when I talk about myself. Like, not about myself, talk to myself. So you could not be here, and this conversation would still happen. But I did this middle school award ceremony. And it was kind of like one of those, I don't know what's about to happen situations. I've been back and forth to school about them doing this award ceremony. It's going to be just for the kids. They want the parents to come. The parents did an RSVP. You know, they had like 40, 50 kids. And I was going to come speak to the kids. It's going to be like an after school, after school thing. Ended up being during school. Like, they called me at like 10 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, I need you at 10:30. So I went there and I walked to this auditorium full of teachers, students, parents. I'm talking about 200-something people. And most people would have clammed up, you know? That's when you're like, ooh, I don't know. The fear overtakes you right about that. You walk in, you're like, I'm not ready for this. I don't have a speech prepared. I thought I was going to talk to like middle school kids. Like middle school kids, you kind of BS your way through middle school. No, this is parents and teachers. But what I told them was about not knowing. That's what we talked about. So I was talking to myself because I had no clue what I was going to talk about when I got there. I thought I was going to wing it. And I came up with this whole quad of like, I don't know, now I know, I don't know, and I still don't know. And the whole connection is asking. So I think my fearlessness came from not being afraid to ask for stuff. I talk to kids like, if you don't, like mostly there's just stigma about not knowing, you know? There's that fear, I don't know, I don't want to ask you. So if I ask you about something I don't know, that means you now know that I didn't know it. And now I feel stupid, because I was supposed to know that, you know? Or what if I ask you, and you do give me that, make me feel stupid. Like there's teachers now in school that if you ask a question, they were like, well, Mr. So-and-so, did you read last night's assignment? And he was like, no, I didn't. You didn't do your homework. So that they show that there's taste in your not knowing. But guess what? I still want to know. So you got to break that fear. Because if you feel stupid for not knowing and you don't ask, you won't know. So it's like, I don't know. And I don't ask. Guess what? I still don't know. So now I really am done. You get the opportunity to figure it out. So last thing I want to do is not know how to do something. Like there's certain things about like life I don't know how to do. Like I can go look under the hood, but if you ask me what I'm doing under there, I don't know. But I'm not scared to ask. Like the girl that works in my car, I'd be right there with her. Like, what's that? What you doing? So I want to know. I'm curious. So that fearlessness of like getting over that hump of feeling dumb, getting over that hump of feeling like you can't do it. I have to pump myself up. Like I'm so positive because I'm like, I know after I ask you this question, guess what? I'm gonna know one more thing. So I'm shut them down.
Let's talk about you transitioning into entrepreneurship. Was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it certain opportunities that found you that encouraged you and motivated you?
I love my mother. Put that on there. I love my mother.
Hey, Mom.
But my mother is very. She's like, I graduated high school. You know, I started working in the government. She worked at NASA. I don't know how she got there. She started working at NASA, and then she's been in government all her life. She's at CDC now here in Atlanta. She's been working in government all her life. She's about to graduate, 401k looking good, her retirement's looking good. You know, she got all these benefits, and this is great. And she was like, you should do this too. And I'm like, that is so boring. And I love her, but I feel like she knows, like if she says, go do this, no, not doing it. But I was a good kid, I'm just not doing it. Not to spite you, just because I'm not doing it. Just because you said so. Is that spite?
Yes.
That might be spite. But no, so entrepreneurship wasn't something I was like, I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just knew I wanted to do stuff. And whatever it is I want to do, I want to do it. So if I want to be in the band and play the saxophone, I was like, Mom, I want to be in the band and play the saxophone. So I was like, cool, let's get a saxophone. I played it all through, from like elementary school to high school to college. He said, I want to play basketball. Cool. And I played basketball from elementary school to high school, middle school, high school, college. And everything I was wanting to do, I did. So and I was like, hey, I want to own a bunch of stuff. That's pretty much my mindset. I want to own a bunch of stuff. I want to be able to say, like, I can take somebody in, but hey, I got this, I got that, I got that. Not because I'm bragging on me. I know you need something. I hope I can provide it. So now I've just been a giver. I think that is where it comes from. Like some people do entrepreneurship to be selfish. Like I want to be rich. I want to sit on top of the world and make people do things that I want to do. I want to boss you around. No, like I want my family. I want to buy this big like warehouse and like convert it to like condos for my family to move into. So we all be close. Let's all spread out right now. I want a block or two where I can say, yo, these are shops. If you want your nail salon, guess what? Put your nail salon. Yeah, I want to own a mall. It doesn't have any like high-end retailers other than us. Like, there's no Macy's, no Dillard's in there, there's no Saks. Nah, we're gonna name it what we want to name it. Just how if you go into Bloomingdale's right now, each one of the shops in Bloomingdale's is an individual like shop. So if you go into the soup section at Bloomingdale's right now, there's a rep that works for the company that you're there for. So I go say, hey, I want a Tom Ford suit. Well, okay, cool. Let me take this Tom Ford rep that works here and this section here that says Tom Ford. So Golden wants to put her thing there. So you know what? I want to start selling hair. I don't know why. But if you want to start selling hair, you have a section in this place that's yours. Mm-hmm. So it's not really. I don't want to get dealers to come in here because nobody's making money off dealers. But if you can come in and set your shop up, we have like 20 different vendors in one place that looks upscale, looks like we want it to look. Listen, how can I make you look good too? And that's how my entrepreneurship got into it. That's like a give so much. Like I'm a yes person. But yeah, let's make it happen. Let's figure it out how we can do it. And so I guess that's how I got into entrepreneurship.
What's been the best piece of advice that you've received, and what's been the best piece of advice that you've given?
The best piece of advice I've received. It's weird because it has nothing. Like entrepreneurship is all about like making sure it makes sense monetarily. Mm. And somebody told me, yo, bro, you gonna kill yourself if you keep looking at the numbers. Don't look at the numbers. Yeah. Like at the very beginning, you look at the numbers. Disappointed. You see your accounts.
It's depressing.
You like my account's in the negative.
Right.
My mom calls me every day and says you need to get your real job. You know, every day is something. You look at the numbers, you'll get depressed. You look at how many people follow you on Instagram, you might get depressed. You look at people following you now, and you realize you got 15,000 followers and only 200 likes. You're like, this don't make sense. Why are people not looking at my stuff? Mm-hmm. You're looking at the numbers. And at the very beginning, for the first, like, I don't know, few years, you looking at the numbers the whole time, will throw you off. Stop looking at the numbers. Just do what you want to do. Do what you think works. Do what you feel, you know, and don't look at numbers, look at people. Look at their facial expression. Look at them when you're talking to them, how they respond to you. Mm-hmm. Are they getting excited like you're getting excited, or are they sitting there looking at you like you're dumb? Mm-hmm. You know, are they catching on? You, like, it's a people thing. The very beginning of entrepreneurship is get to the people. Then the numbers come. But if you don't get to the people, ain't no numbers. So that's the best advice I got. Best advice I've given. Best advice I've given somebody. I think it started in college. There was a guy named Matt Graham. He's doing really well in New York right now. He's doing a commercial for Geico. He's working on a couple movies. He's doing the thing now. But we were in college. He was underneath me. He was like one of my mentees. And I knew I was going to be big. Whatever it is, I know I'm going to be big at it. But he was like, I have to give this speech in front of these people. And I'm not ready. Like, I'm nervous. Like, there's this fear from that. I don't get scared of talking in front of people like that. But he was. So I said, cool, let's attack it. So we went to Underground Atlanta in the middle of all the buffoonery that goes on in Underground Atlanta. Right to there was in the food court, if you ever went to the food court right there by American Deli, there's a stage. Mm-hmm. And all these shenanigans was going on right there. And I had him walk in there and stand up there and read his speech. For like an hour, over and over again. It started off, I think it was like Democratia. He was talking about democracy, and he had to give a speech about how democracy should work and the way it isn't working. And it was really impressive because the more he said it, the more it got better. And he was like, yeah, I got it. I was like, yeah. So it was a combination, like my advice would be to, if you see a fear, just go for it. It doesn't have to be a big, and I'm not saying go in front of like, you know, go fly to New York in front of Times Square. I'm saying go somewhere where you have to talk outside. go somewhere where people don't know what you're talking about and see if the way you speak will make somebody stop. You just be like, what the heck is he talking about? Just curious. I mean, we stopped and listened to Trump. If Trump is sitting and talk about whatever, we can definitely go talk about what you got. If you got something good in your heart to say, listen, we listen to people talk about so much negative. You got something good to say, I need you to go out there, take it on. So that's my advice to him. Just go out there and just do it.
Can you give us some keys to public speaking? Because we've
keys.
had private conversations about things of what not to do. So can you share a little of that with everyone?
Don't yes, public speaking is an art. It's like storytelling and engagement and changing the influx of voice. There's a science to it, but nobody wants to study the science, So if I can give you some examples, it would be just the way I went from like really excited about how I was talking about. It's like, yeah, let's bring it back down a little bit. So how do we make people feel comfortable with our voice? I don't like people yelling at me. That's just me. There's some people who like, I don't want to do Eric Thomas's voice. I love Eric Thomas, he's my homie. But sometimes where people don't receive, there's a sports way to talk to people. It's a regular way to talk to people. So it's a matter of just learning who you're talking to. But the best thing about public speaking is you can go through those dynamics so you can touch everybody. You can get to the point where I'm talking to you and we're this intimate space where I'm encouraging them. Like, you know what? All you have to do is get comfortable with yourself. And whatever you say, somebody out there has experienced something similar to it. But then you're like, listen, if you don't outwork the person next to you, but I mean like when you wake up in the morning and you are like groggy and it's 10 o'clock, somebody's been up since 5. It's like, what is the person next to me doing? You don't want to compare yourself, but you definitely want to see if you're working the way they're working. Who cares if you stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning? They stayed up till 2. Who cares if you woke up at 6? They woke up at 5. Like, are you competing or are you just playing this game for fun? And then you can get a little more intense. But I've realized that when speaking with a microphone on, if somebody's listening to you and you have to have a mic on, or there's a microphone recording you, when you're talking, like, listen, baby, if you don't get it straight, you can't hear a thing I'm saying. They go, hey, you're spiking the mic. Can you stop? You'll learn that. If you say a lot, I always compare it to like this wave. No, it's like, you're cruising and you hear this. Or I see it as a stop. Like you're going like, imagine you're in the car, you're like, like, yeah, so, I just want to get out of traffic. Get through, So those are the things that I pay attention to when I listen to people speak. I like to hear people tell stories. Stories are real cool. And same with that middle school, I talked to the kids and how I introduced the whole thing I don't know. It was so interesting to me because I don't know where it came from. But I was telling them about that time. It's very disgusting, actually. The first time you went to the bathroom at home and you clogged the toilet. Everybody has that experience. When you get home, you're like, I got this bathroom, and you wrap that toilet tissue around that hand. Back when you was young, you ain't know no better. You wrap it up and you flush and go down. You start coming back up and get right there to the brink of the deal. Lord Jesus, what am I gonna do? And you're a kid, you have no clue what to do about this situation. So you start looking for something to reach, because in your mind, if I just move whatever's down there clogging it, whether it's a tissue or whatever's down there, if I can just unclog it with whatever, ruler, coat hanger, you reach to the side of the toilet and you get this thing and you start doing all this, trying to move it out the way, and it's disgusting. And that's usually when your mom comes knocking on the door, like, what are you doing? Why is it taking you so long? Come on, let's go. We're going to get some food. And you're panicking. You start sweating, the room is hot, it smells like boo-boo. And then listen, I'm talking about fear. Fear. What are you doing? You're like, oh my God. And that fear, that's the fear that you get when you don't know what's going on. It's the butterflies, it's the frog in the throat, is it called frog in the throat? Mm-hmm. Get all tight, you're like, oh my God. You start sweating for no reason, your piss is super moist. It is that fear builds up. And the only thing that you could have did, and when your mom comes in there, you finally gotta fess up. And she was like, why didn't you just ask me for help? Like, I could have told you that the toilet's been messed up all day. All you gotta do is take the thing off, lift this to make it flush. Or I could have told you that you gotta get the plunger, not the toilet bowl cleaner, not tissue all stuck on it. Like, you didn't know. And you didn't ask. So it always goes back to that. that fear carries a long way. Like it's the same fear you get when you get pulled over by the cops. And you be like, I don't know why we get pulled over. Maybe it's just me. It's maybe just black people. When we get pulled over by I can say that. I hope I can. I can say that because I've experienced it. You pull up and you like, I don't smoke weed. I got no drugs in the car, no alcohol, no open liquor, no warrants, none of that. But I'm still scared. Why? Not because I'm scared of cops, but because it's authority that's coming at you. That gets you that same fear, that fear you had when your mom was coming and beating on the door, asking what you doing in the room, in the bathroom so long, why it's taking so long, why is the shower still running, you better be watching your behind. It's that same fear of authority, that same fear of being wrong, the same fear of not knowing what's next. It kills you every time. But once you be able to just take it, like, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hopefully you don't die by your mom. My mom could kill somebody. She's crazy.
We love you, Mom. Anyway, so as we start to wrap this up, what do you want to share as keys to success in turning your fear into fuel? Because even though you have a fearless spirit, not everybody is blessed to have that. So how do we move out of that to start to embrace the fearlessness?
Did you hear that story I just told?
I know.
That was a story. Everybody was like, what is he talking? Is his mom really gonna kill people?
People are walking by and they're like, what is happening here?
There was intensity with the story, and there's intensity with your life. It's the same story I just told. Like somebody not only lived something similar to it, but you have a very different experience. And so the fearlessness of not knowing is, guess what? Nobody lived your life. Nobody lives your life the same as you. And that's where my whole lifestyle, hospitality, influence and thing comes from. Because the way my life operates is different than the way your life operates. And so my feelings is knowing that nobody can compare that. You can compare your story to mine, but nobody's story should be the same as mine. So what am I scared of? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. It's your life. Nobody knows how it's going to end, how it got here, how you even got to this point right now. There's so much to learn and so much to tell. You being scared, it throws everybody off. Like you being scared to tell your story, you being scared to go forth with your dreams and your visions, blocks everybody else up. But now I'm like, dang, what's the next story? I'm trying to do something good. I want to hear a good story. I want to hear it from you. Being fearful is like clogging the toilet. And it stops things from flowing, and eventually your fear starts to stink up your potential. Everybody's walking to a bathroom that's nice and decorated, looks good. Bathroom's supposed to smell good. But when your fear's clogged up, you start to look funny. It feels like, I don't like seeing people that are nervous about things. It makes me uncomfortable. And so does walking to a nasty bathroom. So fearlessness keeps things flowing. Like you being able to go attack your dreams, attack your goals, attack your visions, makes people around you work better.
Okay. That's it?
I can keep going.
We're going to pause here. We're going to take a break, and then we are going to possibly come up with a part 2 with Kelsey. But I want to thank Kelsey for being with us today on Xposure 365 podcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And before we get out of here, let's give Kelsey the opportunity to give his social media and his contact information.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Kelsey Maynor. You can find me on Instagram at What's Up Kels. That's WHATSUPKELS. What's Up Kels? Instagram, Twitter is the same. I don't use Twitter, but you can get me on there. I might use it for you. Snapchat's What's Up Kels. You want to find me on Facebook? It's Kelsey Maynor, Maynor. Also, KelseyMaynor.com. Go to the website, check that out as well. Got some really cool, interesting things in these blogs. Check them out.
Thank you again, you guys, for tuning in to Xposure 365 podcast, and we will be back with you next week.
Peace.